Good morning, S&W EXP. Fuck that shit. That ain't the intro. Good morning, dieharders. Who's ready to live for your diehard? This is the Shogun of podcasts. I am joined by my good friend Syxx on this episode, S&W EXT 56 on the S&W Experience podcast on Anchor, YouTube, Breaker FM, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast from. So here we go. And here we go.
It's his who's this guy?
Louis Desposito, yeah.
So it truly is, in fact, you can trust.
Mm. But with, what was I gonna say? Thing is with like WB, I remember asking you, like, since like Discovery, the new like partner company, like teaming up with them, is like, we want to reboot the DC film universe, start fresh. And I asked you, is it gonna work? Are you still of the opinion that it won't work, even though they're starting completely from scratch?
I think people have lost all hope for DC. It's kind of like what happened in the 90s. They need to give it some time to breathe.
Yeah. Because there was a while where we didn't have Batman.
Exactly.
There was a while where we didn't have Superman.
And even then, it wasn't that long, because it was a decade. It was Batman Forever, 95, and then Batman Begins, 05. So, 10 years is good enough for them to forget the monstrosity that came before.
Yeah.
And then start afresh.
Can you believe that in the last 10 years we've had 3 different guys play Batman? 3 different Jokers?
It kind of harkens to the fact that they don't trust their characters. They don't trust. Dude, look on the TV side. We have a TV Flash. We have a TV, Batman for like one episode. Gotham, right?
Yeah, at the end.
We have,
I still say that was a mistake, dude. Just having Batman at the end of having Bruce Wayne to already be Batman by the time, before he gets the suit, before he gets that, like, he's basically Batman. Like, that was a mistake.
We have a TV Supergirl.
Yep.
We have a movie Flash, right? We have a movie Supergirl. We have a TV Superman. We have a movie Superman. We have a TV Batman. We have a movie Batman. We have another movie Batman. There's too many different versions of the same character. And it's the fact that, one, DC's kind of dumb. Warner Brothers owns DC. They own the CW. Yet they refuse to allow the TV division of their own company to have Batman in it. How dumb is that?
Yeah. The whole reason Arrow exists is because they wouldn't do a Batman show.
It's so idiotic. They literally go, no, you can't have them. It's the same goddamn studio. This isn't even like Netflix. This isn't even like, Marvel TV and Marvel movies. That's different ownership. That's like, that's Aviarad, and that's Paramount and Universal, and or Sony. That makes sense. Now it's been cleared up because Marvel's bought many properties since, and the Netflix ones. But DC literally owns every single character. They can put any character they want anywhere. And yet they borrowed the CW, which is a Warner Brothers network, from having Batman in that show. For the mere fact that you had Superman, you had Superman in your shows since 2003. But you won't give us Batman? That's so idiotic.
Yeah.
But I get it. Because you can't do Batman as well on a TV budget.
Yeah.
which is what they would got.
You can do Batwoman on a TV budget.
Exactly. And not good. So I think they know the risk. And it's ironic because if they have such an issue with the TV budget, then add more money. Give the shows more money. Literally pull a Disney. Disney saw that certain TV shows didn't do too well because of the budget. So they gave their shows a high budget.
Yeah.
$20 million per episode, as opposed to your traditional CW, 1.2 million, 1.8 million, 2 million. 20 million an episode for the Disney Plus shows. Those shows get like 200 to 300 million a season, which is, again, 10 episodes,
Yeah.
But still, 20 mil an episode. That's like Game of Thrones. But the CW, they're squeezing by with their million per episode budget. What can you do for a 30-minute episode with CGI and effects? Jesus. And they only give you $1 million.
Not to mention costumes, action sequences, just...
Literally, come on, salaries.
Yeah,
salaries.
That's a lot. That's a huge chunk of that money, is the actor's salary.
But I think sometimes they separate it. Because people like, let me see, what does Grant get these days? So Grant Gustin, at this point of season 8 and 9, gets $200,000 per episode.
Thought he'd be making more than that.
I mean, with CW.
But it's season 8, dude. I mean, it's The Flash. Just 200 grand.
Compare it to Johnny Sheen, $2.5 million salary. He was getting 1.2 million per episode.
To be fair, dude was the highest paid actor on TV at one point.
1.2 million. Even the Big Bang Theory guys were making $1 million episode. Even the Big Bang Theory cast. So it's just kind of like they really don't care. You take what you can get.
Yeah.
You take what you can get. So it's just like, yeah, it sucks.
Though personally for me, I think the not putting Batman on TV boils down to, like, they see him as a movie guy. Like, Batman works better in a movie than a TV show. Because that's just how I see it. Like, he's more of a film guy. Because, like, there's certain characters you'll never see on TV. Like, you're never going to see the Joker show up on episode of the CW. But you'll see him in a Batman movie. You'll see him in Suicide Squad, but not a TV show. Because it wouldn't work.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Although, while on the subject of the Joker, full disclosure, man, I'm sick of the fucking Joker. I am sick of seeing this character in every... Not just that, dude. I'm sick of seeing this motherfucker pop up every 2 or 3 years. Like, just, fuck's sake. Batman has a whole rogues gallery of villains. Why do we keep circling back to the same dude? Fuck's sake, man. Harvey Dent exists. Clayface exists. Fucking...
There is a reason for that, if you think about it. There's a very good reason for that.
Which is...
2 words. Heath Ledger.
Shit.
It's the only reason why.
I knew you were gonna go there, man. They haven't quite gotten back to that, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was also an Oscar winner off playing the Joker. But it wasn't the same, though. Heath Ledger is more impressive because, he was the villain in a Batman movie, where Joaquin Phoenix was the main character in his movie. Like, he had a whole movie to play in. Heath Ledger had, like, a handful of scenes. Yeah. and they haven't quite been able to get there, man. They haven't quite been able to get back there in terms of the villain.
Just overall quality.
Future Shogun here. No disrespect to the other DC villains. I mean, no disrespect to Bane, Riddler. Full disrespect to fucking Lex Luthor. I mean, fuck that guy, man. That I don't know what the fuck that was, man. What movie are you from? You are clearly not from the movie we are currently watching, which is BVS, dude. I mean, fuck right off back to whatever Looney Tune you was pulled out of. Anyway, no disrespect to those people. I'm just saying, I'm just sick of seeing the Joker, man. We had like 4 different people play Joker in the last, 10 years? Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix, and now, what's his name? He was in Eternals. I can't remember his name, dude. But that guy, with the fucked up face. Not to mention on the TV screen, we've had Cameron Monaghan as Jerome and Jeremiah Velasquez. So if you look at it that way, we've had 6 people play Joker in the last 10 years. I mean, no, we've had 6 Jokers in the last 10 years. We've only had 5 people. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. The character's overexposed, man. There's only so much you can do with that character now. Shit. There's an entire rogues gallery, man. Where's Freeze at? Can we get another Harvey Dent in here? I mean, I'm glad that the Batman got the Riddler. I mean, Paul Dano's Riddler was great. It shows we don't need to constantly go back to the Joker. He's got an entire rogues gallery that can work. Sheesh. We keep circling back to this fool. I don't hate the Joker. I really don't. He's one of Batman's greatest villains. He's his nemesis for a reason. He's a fucking awesome character, but god damn. He has a rogues gallery for a reason. He'd be a shitty superhero if he only ever had one main villain to fight. Fuck's sakes, man.
Like, just look at how Gotham really tried to create a Heath Ledger as a character. Even it was more of the Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, the second one around was more Nicholson. Yeah.
Obviously, the last version we see.
Yeah, it was all burned out.
It's more in line with Heath Ledger. Yeah, he's more Heath Ledger. But the other one is Jack Nicholson. It's like,
yeah, even as the hat, dude, just the purple outfit, the hat, just.
They're latching onto these things that worked. They're scared of trying something new.
But the one with the face, though, where he had his face peeled off, he had his face cut off and sewed it back on. That was straight from the comics, man. No character has done that before, dude. That was some straight out of the comics. Fuck, Gotham was gory sometimes, man. I remember Bruce punched him so hard his face came off. Shit.
It was rated 16.
Fuck, dude, that's rough, man. It punched him so hard his face came off.
It's crazy.
Hey, she can do a lot with a 16, man. I thought the show was rated R, dude. Dude.
That's the thing. You can do so much with 16. That's why I was thinking a while back. I don't mind Deadpool being 16, but it would just be less blood. It's still see blood, but it would be less blood.
Deadpool was 16. The first Deadpool movie was 16. It was the second one that was R-rated.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wait, was it not in certain regions?
In certain regions, Deadpool is R-rated, yes, but in the US and them, it was a 16 rated movie.
In South Africa, it was R.
Yeah. Because, that mostly boiled down to the third act, because the director wanted to have this, huge shootout with lots of explosions and shit, but the budgets didn't allow for it, which is why Deadpool loses his guns. So, yeah.
That's it. I think, it was only in certain territories that they had to cut certain scenes that were deemed inappropriate for the general public.
Yeah.
Even with the R rating. But the original MPA rating for certain territories, which is essentially the greater part of the world, was rated R.
Mm-hmm.
But places places like, the ones in Egypt and Pakistan and certain places, it was rated 16 because they cut some scenes. They were deemed too offensive for the cultures to watch.
Yeah. There was but that second one though, they actually released a PG-13 version with like some scenes from Fred Savage, and you could tell the difference in the movie. Like, it's not anything big. It's just like Deadpool doesn't swear as much, and there's less blood. That's it. Like he's still like the fight with the Juggernaut still happens. The cable's still there. A lot of stuff that was in the original R-rated cut is still in the movie. Even though it's PG-13, it's just toned down a little.
Exactly.
So yeah, they proved then that Deadpool could work as a 13 movie. I mean, it would really push that 13. Yeah, it should be R. Ideally. I feel the same thing about Blade. I'm never gonna let that go. Blade should be an R-rated. He's a fucking vampire hunter.
For starters, Blade needs one F-bomb, at least, but a lot of blood.
Yeah.
You don't need a godly sword. I feel like movies that rely too much on swearing, they don't know how to write as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a movie and characters that are sinister, but they don't rely on fucks, to sell the level of sinister. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I think a lot of these movies, and I think The Boys does it so well. The Boys doesn't always drop a F-bomb every 5 minutes. They don't. But a show like, what's this one show? I forgot what it was, but it's on Netflix. So many F-bombs. Okay, we get it. You're R-rated. Everything is fucking this and fucking that. You fucking idiot. It's like, okay, cool, we get it. You're R-rated.
Dude.
Move on. Move on.
I had that same feeling. I was watching this David Ayer movie called End of Watch, and I'm just like, by the way, David Ayer wrote Training Day. He wrote like Denzel, one of Denzel's best movies ever. He wrote Alonzo Harris. He wrote that character that wrote everything, and I'm like, okay, the writer of Training Day is directing a movie. Let me check it out. Dude, I saw that movie. I'm like, there's no fucking way this was the same dude who wrote Training Day. Like, they swear so much, dude. It like just. There's a scene where a guy, that prank, like you put whipped cream in someone's hand, you tickle them and they like smack themselves, like cream goes all over their face. Whatever, like if that happened to you, you'd get up, you'd be mad about it, and you'd like chase the guy, whatever. This happens to a cop, right? Like this cop gets pranked, he gets up, he's like, what the fuck? Like, this shit isn't fucking funny. Just because you won the fucking award doesn't give you license to be a fucking asshole. And then another, like the chief comes in, is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's all this shit? Like, there's so much swearing. It's like, laugh. Yeah, fucking laugh, motherfucker. You keep laughing. They'll give you a fucking risk management case. Why every 2 words is there a fuck or a shit? Like, just, can't anyone just talk?
It's definitely teenage humor.
Dude.
Because no one in reality swears that often. Myself, I'll probably use like one fuck a day, like 1 or 2. Say I drop something or whatever. I don't use it constantly. Like the fact that the average person uses fuck at least once or twice a day. These people in these movies use it like every 2 minutes. Like, what is that?
Are you trying to seem edgy or like what are you going for? Just
That's exactly what it is. It's trying to be edgy. Even I remember Titans. Fuck Batman.
Dude. I'm like, what? Robin, since when does Robin swear?
Titans has too many F-bombs. Why? Okay, we get it. We agree.
Jesus, dude. Just that trailer put me off that show. It's one of the contributing factors that put me off that entire show. Just that trailer was like, fuck that, man. Just like, what?
I watched that show so much later than everyone else. Just because I saw the trailer, I was like, nah, this is bad. greatest Boy Scout. Like, Dick Grayson is the most Boy Scouty Robin there is.
Yeah.
He's a leader of the Gotham Teen Titans. He's a Boy Scout. Are you saying fuck Batman? That should be the Jason Todd.
Yes! That is the most Jason Todd thing dude could say. Just like, if he's like, fuck Batman, like, I could get it. I get it, dude. But, good.
And it would make sense for Jason because Batman let him die and he didn't get revenge.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He has a grudge on him as Red Hood. We understand this. But why is Dick Grayson like, Jesus?
Like, you should fucking love Batman, dude. He took you in. Like, he made you Robin. Like, there's all this cool stuff he did for you. Why are you saying fuck Batman? Just, DC, just...
It's even the fact that, for some reason, right? Okay, in the world of Titans, Batman is an older man. He's old. Dick Grayson is old. Just sounds like 12. It's so weird. Jason is like 12 years old. He's like a kid. He's a kid. It makes no sense. Given what Bruce's age in that show is.
Yeah. He should be an adult by now.
Makes no sense. Yeah. Like, Bruce adopts Jason when he's like in his mid-40s. The guy who played Bruce, which is the guy from Game of Thrones, Glenn something.
Hey.
That guy's like 59. Like, that's an old man. That is Dark Knight Rises era Bruce. Not, midway to Robin ascending into knighthood era Bruce. It's not.
Yeah, that was really. I remember bringing him up. Like, dude was probably cast based off like him being in Game of Thrones, and DC was probably like, oh, people recognize this guy. That'll make them tune in because they recognize him. Like, just. He looks two holes, man. Like, just.
Not, dude. At that age, you should have Dick be old enough to take on the mantle of Batman. Not him being Nightwing for like 2 years. Fuck.
Dude, like, you think at that age, fucking Terry McGinnis should be around somewhere. Just.
At that age, Dick is like 32 or something. He's like in his 30s. He's in his 30s and he's Batman. Not this weird ass timeline that they have. What a weird ass timeline.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Hey, you see that trailer for that Gotham Knights show? Like where Bruce is someone killed.
I think we spoke about that.
Yeah. What did you think about
Not even in the comics.
the Joker's daughter thing? That's not even a thing, by the way. Like, that's not even a thing. Joker doesn't have kids. Like, also, okay, let's look at this from a logical perspective. Do you see any of the people who've played Joker in the past having a kid?
Nothing. Like, those people aren't even interested in women. Okay, leave Leto's one. But just Jokers, they're anarchists. They only seek the destruction of the world. They don't care about these trivial, human feelings. Lydia, he has a kid. Whoop-de-doo. Jesus Christ.
The fucking Joker is this anarchist symbol, dude. Like, Heath Ledger said it best. Like, no, Michael Caine's Alfred said it best. Like, some men just want to watch the world burn. He's that guy. He does not. There's no way he would stick around with someone long enough to have a kid. Just.
Yeah. Even it's funny because that was established so long ago. Batman the animated series. There was an episode where Batman he was kidnapped by Joker and Harley. He wakes up, he's strung upside down. And then Harley's just talking about how she's so happy with the Joker and how they're gonna start Batman. And Batman just laughs. And then Harley's like, whoa, you're scaring me, Batsy, stop. And he's like, you really think he loves you? He's just using you, Harley. You're a means to an end. And it's just like, yes, Batman knows the Joker's psychology better than anyone else. And that was established in BTS nearly 3 decades ago. Yet now they want to have him have a kid. Wonderful. Wonderful. Brilliant writing.
That doesn't work. what I don't get in like the Gotham Knights thing, it's like, okay, Bruce Wayne, like Batman is dead. Everyone knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, and that's about it. Like, there's the immediate thing is like, okay, who killed Batman? No one actually stops to linger on like, yo, Bruce Wayne is fucking Batman. It's like, okay, someone killed Batman. We need to find out who. Like, no one takes a moment to be like, dude, like, just take it in for a second. Bruce Wayne is fucking Batman. Where's the headlines of that shit? Just,
where's the shock?
yeah. Jesus, dude. There was a better reaction when it was revealed Peter Parker was Spider-Man than it was that fucking Batman was Bruce Wayne. And Peter Parker's just some guy. Like, he's not famous, he's just some guy.
Like, I definitely don't want to defend the writing, but I mean, it's a billionaire, and he's a superhero. I would think there's some sort of corporate level of hushing going around. Like, don't talk about this, you'll affect the stocks, so shut up, you know?
Yeah.
In that sense, it makes sense, but again, I don't want to defend that horrible show. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, in the comics, like, Bruce Wayne owns, it's not the Daily Planet, but like, he owns a newspaper. So, like, I could see, like,
in some runs, he does.
Yeah.
He does own it. Like Wayne Enterprises bought a media division, and part of that was acquiring Daily Planet.
Yeah. And that could work to like shush up stories about the Batman. Like, that will work.
Exactly.
But that's not established here. It's just
Batman is bad for business, so you're not gonna push any stories about it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna write any articles, you're not gonna do any news segments on TV. Yes, it makes sense. But it's still a terrible show regardless.
It should. Ah, man, like, I remember last time we talked, I was talking about Ambulance, and I was like, it shouldn't work, but hot damn, it does. This show should work, but it doesn't. Just, if you think about it long enough, it falls apart.
It's just the complete opposite. And it's literally because of the fact that they refuse to show Batman. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
All these shows are these legacy characters taking over because Bruce Wayne is missing or dead. Literally, every show's like that. Think about it. Green Arrow. Bruce Wayne, missing.
Even Batwoman.
Bruce Wayne, missing. Every other show takes Bruce out of the equation literally as a reason for the show existing. Every other shows, save for Green Arrow, only exists because Bruce is gone. And why is he gone? Because Warner Brothers won't let CW touch Batman, even though it's their fucking network. But still, all those shows exist because Batman is gone. And that's why they suck. Because they can't do Batman. You can't do a Batman family property without Batman.
Oh, jeez, dude, it's this show, man. I think this show was made to come out in conjunction with the video game, because they were doing a Gotham Knights video game before all this.
Yeah,
But like, thing is, that sucked, because it feels like you made this show to coincide with the coming out of this game, and you just like rushed it out the door to be like, hey, you like the video game? Here's a TV show about it.
It's like a crappier version of Dragon Ball Heroes.
Dude, it's just, man.
And I can assure you, probably a low budget as well.
Probably, yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, there's not a lot of like, costumes.
Yeah,
So
it's
just them.
Dragon Ball Heroes has a higher budget than Gotham Knights.
Oh man, I don't even feel for DC, dude. I want this
because they literally do it to themselves. They do it to themselves. It's so, it's head scratching. It's just, oh my god.
That's why part of me is like, I want this reboot start from scratch, just get everything. Even the stuff they did right, it's gotta go. Just everything has to start totally fresh. But they're not gonna do that. Yeah, they're not gonna do that because Aquaman still makes money. Shazam made money. These movies made money. They're gonna try their best to keep those around despite scrapping everything else.
Exactly.
And it's gonna be jarring.
The whole thing of you still need Black Adam to fight Shazam in the future.
Yeah. Even though you're scrapping everything, you still need to enact a plan you put in place 10 years ago. Just when you cast The Rock. Did you know The Rock is the longest serving actor within the DCEU, despite not having a movie? He was cast years ago.
He was cast during his wrestling days.
Fuck.
When he still had that weird haircut. That weird Doom 2005 haircut. Remember Doom?
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I'll give that movie. That wasn't bad. It's just like The Rock could, Carl Urban was the main character, sure, but The Rock could definitely, be an action guy. It did show that. That's true.
And most importantly, it shows that the widow's peak works.
Yeah. I think it's down to him not wanting to wear a wig, or if he was good to wear a wig, he would look ridiculous if he had it on. That's just
And I think, it's kind of that, but also I want to suppose two chicken shits to make him wear one.
Yeah,
just because it'll look goofy.
Yeah.
Look, dude, we've had Thor's helmets, we've had Cap's, headpiece.
The wings, yeah.
It looks like it works. Just do it. No one's in a cage. Just do it. It's in service of the character. Just do it. Because what I see right now is The Rock.
It's just The Rock. There is a bald Black Adam run, but this is just The Rock in a suit. It's not.
But he still has elf ears.
Yeah.
He still maintains.
He still looks like Black Adam.
Exactly. They couldn't even give him elf ears. That's how chicken shit they were. Oh my god.
Jeez, dude. Just also from the trailers, that character's so ambiguous.
Exactly. Because you don't know if he's bad or good. Is he an anti-hero?
Thing is, in that trailer, there's that line where they were like, heroes don't kill people. He's like, well, I do. So I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna be a villain. And this, Justice Society or whatever, they're gonna take him down. But then later on in the movie, he saves this van from getting blown up by a missile. And it's like, so is he good or bad? It's what's going on here? What's this movie about?
Yes,
Yeah.
Now thinking where the hell have you been? Pretty much like the Turtles.
Yeah. But, there's
oh yeah, look at this picture. Look at this picture of Rock. I would not mind this.
Yeah. It works. Shit. It works. It does.
They're too scared. Oh my god.
They couldn't even do the ears, dude. He's just a dude at this point, man. Just...
Some comic writer even drew Dwayne Johnson, just in that one comic style. But you can still see that it's Dwayne Johnson. But he's betraying Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
The way that this art looks, give him hair, and literally Dwayne had actual hair likeness before he went bald.
Yeah, he did.
Seen him in movies with the hair likeness. He had a widow's peak.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
If they greenlit the movie when he had hair, it would have.
Yeah.
It would have worked. Around the time of Doom, it would have worked.
And then at some point, I think it was Fast 5 that really had him being. This is the definitive bald Dwayne Johnson. Probably Fast 5.
Yeah. That was Hey, thinking about that time period, I think it was after Series 7 where he just kept the beard. He didn't shave, he kept that hard beard, and people were like, hey, what gives, man? Why's The Rock leaving this big old beard on?
And now it's one of his staples.
Yeah. Dude, it was Hobbs in that Hobbs and Shaw movie. That's just The Rock. He's so far removed from who he was in Fast Five.
Character. Yep.
Because if you remember, Fast Five, dude was hunting them. Like, he's not trying to arrest them. He's after them. Just.
And he was a huge dick too.
Dude, just. But now he's all jokey and shit. Like, just, just. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
When I looked at that character versus what he is now, it's like back then it was like Hobbs is not a person. He's like a force of nature. Like even Brian is like, when you wanted to catch somebody, like this is who you called. Like he was hyping him up like that. But now it's just he doesn't even do that anymore.
He's a guy you can knock over if you're big enough,
Yeah.
If you're big enough, you can knock him over. It's fine.
Or if you're Idris Elba in that one Hobbs and Shaw scene, you could definitely take him. Like just.
Or if you're Vin Diesel, which is again contractually obligated. Literally like he can't get beat up. They have to be equal, and they have to get an equal number of shots in. Even though you can clearly see that Dwayne is the superior of the two.
Yeah. That just doesn't work. We have to get an equal number of shots in. That's just petty, man. That's fucking petty. Just, no. The scene calls for you to get an ass whooping. Just take it and move on. You're not gonna be any weaker from it. Just, oh shit, dude. It really doesn't make sense, the scenes with Statham. Because, like, with Diesel, okay, I can get it. It's a knockdown, drag-out brawl. I can see that. But the scenes with Statham, it's like, how is this a fight? Just, he should be straight up out-muscling him.
Exactly. To the point where sometimes he has the upper hand. Where it's like, okay, that's not awesome, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, that just. Hey man, I wanted to take, like, do you like the fact, like, the way the Fast and Furious has changed to essentially make the protagonists superhuman with the shit that they do?
They're just all super soldiers. That makes no sense. That movie franchise should have ended with Syxx.
Yeah, I mean, thematically, and with that ending, with like Wiz Khalifa's song, and that scene, and there, and it would have been like we wouldn't have asked for an 8. Let's be honest, nobody would have been like, when's the next Fast Furious? Like, nah, everything's done.
I would have respected a spin-off with maybe Dom and certain other characters, but not just another Fast movie. Like, close the chapter on Fast and have a different movie franchise. I can respect that much better. But now, it's just same people, same characters, same environments.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
The Rock isn't coming back. I remember hearing that. Like, he's not going to do another Fast movie because of, like, what's everything went down.
Even he said, like, nah, this is too much. Paul wouldn't have wanted this.
Yeah.
This is just too much, and it's a cash grab.
Yeah. There was this thing, like, speaking of, like, the Fast movies, what is this thing? Oh, yeah. Dude, this made me laugh so hard. When I read this, I was like, man, fuck you. Get out of here. There was this thing where, like, Vin Diesel was, like, he was meditating, and it was right around the time, like, when he went to go meet John Cena. Like, John Cena was coming up to meet him, and, like, Vin Diesel was meditating. And when he says, when John Cena came into the room, like, he could feel, like, the presence of, like, he could sense the presence of Paul Walker. I was like, bullshit, man.
I was like, listen, bro, we're not children, okay? We're not dumb, we're not naive. Stop it. Just stop it. It's like I'm not Even when he sang the song, right? When he sang "See You Again,"
Oh
it was
yeah.
so cringe at the awards. I was like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Yeah, like you don't have the voice for this, man. Just put the mic down.
He's off key. He grabbed the mic out of someone else's hand. Just stop it,
Dude.
get some help. Love that video.
It's a funny watch though. Not gonna lie, it's kind of funny.
It is.
But
And he's so cringe on Facebook as well. Jesus.
dude,
Oh, man.
you remember when he was like trying to bait The Rock to come back to the Fast franchise? It's like, you know, like
Literally.
dude was like, your fans want this, you know, just dude, nah, man.
Do it for family. It was a video that was posted by him a week before Justin Lin quit. Justin Lin looks so uncomfortable in that video. Oh my god. He looks so uncomfortable. Like, dude, get off me. Personal space, 2 meters, let's do it. He is so uncomfortable. He's low-key a menace.
I'm surprised that Lin walked away from that movie though, because I mean, shit was rough between Vin Diesel and The Rock in Furious 8, but they made it work.
And Vin Diesel as well.
But they made it work. Even F9, the shit was going on, but they made it work. Like, I think it's mostly, like, from my perspective, I think it was a case of, like, him as a director was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, just...
Yeah, like, everyone reaches the limit.
Yeah.
Everyone reaches the limit. That's what's important to remember. Everyone.
He could have. Because he'd done it for 2 movies before. He could have soldiered through, pumped out another Fast movie, but, like, at this point, he was just like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Dude, just... But what... But his replacement... It is sad, but, like, of all people they could have chosen, they chose Louis Leterrier, the director of The Incredible Hulk and The Transporter. Just like, okay, I can see it. Okay, the director of The Transporter, sure, makes sense. But the guy who directed Incredible Hulk? Like, how does...
I mean, you know what? That movie wasn't bad.
It wasn't, but like...
Kind of flat.
It's such a shift.
It wasn't a bad.
Yeah. You think that they would get another guy who, like, oh, he's directed movies similar to this, but, like, really? That's who you went for? Like, huh?
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, the Fast movies, in F9, at any point when you were watching that movie, you know, you saw Tyrese, Ludacris, Mia, Mr. Nobody, you know, Ramsey and all that. At any point, did you think to yourself, where's Scott Eastwood?
He was definitely a surprise. When I saw him, I was like, wait, is that Scott Eastwood?
Yeah, and the 8th one, like, just... At any point during the 9th movie, were you asking yourself, why is he not in this movie? Or did you just, like...
And also, why isn't he, like, one of the top, more top-billed people? You know?
I mean, he's not.
Clint's son. I mean, I get him. Third more role.
To be fair, dude, I mean, there's a lot of, like, more popular actors in that movie. Like, even the woman who plays Ramsey, she was on Game of Thrones, and Ludacris, I mean, Ludacris was a rapper before all this, but even he's more known than Scott Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of billing, yeah, it makes sense that he wouldn't, like, be, like, one of the top billed guys.
Do you feel like that guy's career gets much bigger than what it is, though?
Well, Eastwood, I think he just needs that one role. Like, that one big role that, tells Hollywood, like,
That's the
hey.
game changer.
Yeah. Because up until now, he hasn't had it. Like, He was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But can you remember his character's name? No. He was
Suicide Squad.
yes.
Really?
He was in Suicide Squad.
Oh, he was one of the guards, right?
Yeah, he was one of Rick Flagg's guys. He was there.
Wow, that's forgettable.
Fucking exactly. Like you'll see him.
And he's aging too, man. He's 36. He's high up there in the years at this point. He's not spring chicken anymore.
His role.
36.
Yeah.
Damn, he needs a good role fast. I mean, granted, people like Morgan Freeman didn't become popular until they were like in their 50s. But still, Morgan Freeman was never actually died. If Clint ever wants to secure an action role, he needs a game changer fast. Because he's aging.
Yeah. A game changer.
He doesn't have action movies, but he doesn't have a breakout role.
Yeah. He needs a proper movie that he stars in. That I'm sad to say. Look, I'm sad to say this, but he needs a proper movie that's not directed by his dad.
Yeah. He needs a breakout role where he is either a supporting character or the main character. And it needs to be directed by a good director who understands true action.
Yeah. They kind of tried to do that with this one movie he was in. It's trying to blend Ocean's 11 with Fast and Furious. I can't remember the name, but dude, you could tell what this movie was going for. This movie wanted to be the next Ocean's 11, but with cars. And it's just, he's the leading man in that movie. It's called Overdrive. Yeah, Overdrive. He's the leading guy, but just nah. This movie stinks of trying to cash in on the Fast movies. And it doesn't help that he's in the Fast movies. So just, oh, jeez.
Find something else.
Yeah. He's gonna be in the 10th Fast movie, though.
Jesus. His character still isn't notable. How sad is that?
His character name is I shit you not. His character is Little Nobody. Because, he was the nobody, whatever.
Oh, yeah. As Statham calls him, right?
Dude, Little Nobody. Just, give him a name. For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, dude, give his character a name. Don't have him be Little Nobody the whole film. Just...
How sad. As a legacy actor. He's literally a legacy actor. But this is where his career is, 10 years down the line of first starting. Jesus Christ. But his first movie was, where is it? Let me see. It was Gran Torino in 2008.
Yeah, he was just that white dude.
He's 10 years deep. More than 10 years deep.
Dude.
And this is where your career is? Jesus Christ.
And also a Clint Eastwood movie.
Had a faster rise to fame. Jason literally was in the Transporter and what is it? Italian Job. Boom, he's famous. You've been in many movies. And look at where you are. Yikes.
Yeah. Still, but this dude needs to play Wolverine, man. That'll make him just...
Yeah, that will give him more roles. Because I think even people like Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, they use their MCU roles to kind of out their careers.
Yeah.
Hemsworth is doing action movies now. Evans as well. Even Snowpiercer was like, oh, he's a pretty good Captain America. It's, let's put him in a nice role. Snowpiercer, boom. Knives Out, a couple more movies that I can't name right now. But he's been in some decent movies since being an Avenger. Same goes for Hemsworth. But I feel like, he needs the star power of the MCU to put his career. The only person who entered the MCU fully, not like a once-off cameo role. The only character who entered the MCU already
comes to a movie like Long Kiss Goodnight, Pulp Fiction. There's so many films he's been in, dude. Just
Yeah, but even like MCU films, he's been in many Marvel movies.
yeah.
To the point where you can actually say that Samuel L. Jackson is in the MCU. But people are like, I mean, I guess Douglas as well. You know, Douglas, he's been like, what, 3 now? Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
Not bad. So, yes, Douglas and Samuel L. Jackson entered the MCU already. Oh, and Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Already just super fucking famous.
Yeah.
For Paul Rudd, it was mostly
Comedies.
Judd Apatow's comedy
Yeah.
films. Yeah. But then people like Johansson, she wasn't that famous. Hemsworth wasn't that famous. Like, he was famous, but not like big names.
Mm.
Like, people who knew him either saw him in like F4 or like not another TV movie. He's not as memorable as Scott Pilgrim, even though he is in the movie. People who are more memorable are people like Michael Cera.
Yeah.
And then, because literally, take this, Brie Larson was a Scott Pilgrim, but nobody remembers her from the movie. But she's in the movie, you know? So even though Evans was also in the movie, he's not really as remembered for that.
But to be fair, he only had 2 scenes, so that's not a lot.
Yeah.
Brie Larson was worse. She had like one big scene. I like that song that she performed and like conversation after, but like after that, nothing. It was
100%.
yeah.
So it's only Samuel L. Jackson who was in the MCU as a favor. Because honestly, let's be honest, it was a favor. It was like, oh, you guys drew me as Nick Fury. Now you want me to be in a movie? Sure, okay, why not? It was literally a favor. Because he could have easily said no.
Yeah. He'd have been alright.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
did them a favor. Now he has something serious. Good for him. He's a legend.
I guess a close second would have been what's his name? Keith Richards. Whose name is like he was, no, not Keith Richards. Fucking no, that was fuck, I can't remember anybody's names, but he's in a ton of movies. Like he could have played Nick Fury, but like it'll come to me. Just moving on. But you're right about that.
David.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What?
He's the president on Rick and Morty, Keith David.
Keith David, yes. He's a close second. He could have played Nick Fury. Shit. Yeah.
I could see it.
I
Doesn't
could
he
see
voice him in the cartoon?
He does in like some of the video games, yeah. Dude, it was so. I remember seeing him in the one Fantastic Four game. It was so cool. Like just there was this scene where like you know the scene in the movie where the Fantastic Four save that fire truck. There's like you know you play that scene whatever the cutscene triggers the heroes celebrate and the camera pans around and it's like Nick Fury watching and he's like yes sir, like I'll keep my eye on them, like just he had like one line and I was like oh shit, that was cool. But damn,
Yeah.
just if that had happened in the movie, oh damn,
Crazy.
that would have changed like the whole Fox slate, man. Like just yo, Nick Fury exists in the Fox movies. Like just those movies would have been different, man. Shit.
The Fox slate. I mean, we're still gonna see their Secret Wars directions.
Are you?
It's funny.
Yeah.
We kind of almost have confirmation of Secret Wars. Because are clear.
I mean, it's gonna happen.
She literally
It's not like
she literally said, your presence caused an incursion, and now you have to fix it. So we are going to see another universe set of heroes, which is most probably Hugh Jackman. I mean, for starters, we already know Garfield and Maguire are returning. That's been confirmed long ago. They are returning for Secret Wars. We already knew that. But now it's just like, okay, we confirmed Maguire and Garfield a while back. What about Jackman and Co? And now it's sort of like, well, yeah, they just might, because if Stewart is coming back at this age, then please, James Marsden, Halle Berry, please, they're a shoo-in. Famke Janssen, there she went.
Yeah. Though it does tick me off that that we have like 3 different Doctor Stranges in MOM, and they're all just Benedict Cumberbatch. Just
Jesus, it managed to be so rhymy strange.
dude.
Which was so excellent because he was literally name dropped.
Yeah.
He was name dropped.
Dude, we could have got dude. When I heard that Bruce Campbell had like a role in the movie, I'm like, he's gonna be one of the Doctor Stranges. It's just, it would have been nice, you know. Just having, you know,
it kind of sells itself to that theory that, okay, even though you had him be this sort of person who's either playing, who's this Balder the Brave or whatever, you can totally see him being a rhyming Stephen Strange.
yeah.
But even with that, though, I guess it wouldn't technically work because I guess canonically he was supposed to be bringing back wearing disguises.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they wanted Joaquin Phoenix as Doctor Strange, so you can have him be the rhyming Strange.
Yeah, and you know how Joaquin Phoenix was like he didn't want the role because he didn't want to come back for sequels. He could have been the Strange who died.
Exactly. This is and even so, right? Forget sequels. This would have been a one and done role, just to appease us, just like Krasinski apparently. You know, you won't come back for Secret Wars. We saw you were good. You could die, sure, but I think it wouldn't sell the fact that they believe America if it was played by anyone else other than Benedict, because it only works when he sees himself. But if he's another random Caucasian man in his outfit,
it wouldn't have worked. Yeah.
How does this prove anything? You know?
Yeah, it would have been like, you know, this could be just some dude that you murdered. Like, how is this me? Like, just okay. So we have a thing.
He could have been probably the finesse of Strange.
Yeah.
Because we know he's not. Haven't seen the movie. But the trailer was like, oh my god, that's What If Strange.
He had like one line, and dude, Marvel did it again. They did it again, dude. You remember? Because the thing is, you remember Far From Home? When the trailer came out, we were like, and like Mysterio was like, he's like, I'm from Earth so and so. This is Earth 666. Marvel played us because they knew that we'd see into the Spider-Verse, and we were willing to accept the idea of a multiverse. So they played us in that movie. They did it again on fucking Multiverse of Madness because they knew that we'd seen What If, and we were waiting for like Strange to come out, like just.
I don't know. There's no place where you can see him.
I mean, since he's watching the thing, I mean, that
because it would be tough. You would see him in either a multiversal crossover or a Doctor Strange movie. I just feel like that character, he was introduced, but so far he's been squandered. He's so OP.
Yeah. It's just. It's just, do you think Multiverse of Madness, do you think having to watch Wandavision to understand Wanda's arc kind of hampers Multiverse of Madness? It's like, if you didn't see Wandavision, could you possibly, like, get into Multiverse of Madness?
Well, I'd say you wouldn't understand as much. You wouldn't understand, like, oh, okay, this is... These people are important because we've already seen them. I guess you wouldn't really understand if you hadn't seen them.
Yeah.
It's just like random kids, like, okay, we haven't seen these kids before. Why is this really important? Why does she care about me so much?
Yeah, because in some of the movies, the last time anyone saw Wanda, she was still breathing vision. And like, oh, she's over this now? Okay. She wants kids now? Like, okay, she's evil now? Like, what happened?
Which is weird because, okay, there's one glaring plot hole. My guy. At the end of Wandavision, it's Wanda in the cabin in Sokovia, and she's using the darkhold to scan different dimensions. And her kids are visibly, quite audibly crying out for help. why did she not go to reality where those kids are in danger? Where did that plot point head off to? Because the only reason she discovered her kids existed in the multiverse was when they cried out for help. So why the fuck does MOM start with them in a reality where they're happy and they have their own Wanda? It doesn't make sense, because them saying mom help sounds like they're in a reality where they remember that this universe's Wanda is their mother and now they're in danger. I remember the theories flying. People were like, oh, Cthulhu has a Mephisto or another version of Agatha. There were so many theories. And theories are like interesting theories. Like, oh, Wanda has to save her kids from this demon or this one or this villain. All for it to conclude in Wanda going into another Wanda's reality where those kids are happy and fulfilled. What the fuck? What the actual fuck?
That movie creates its own plot hole and then tries to like paste over it when like Wong asks, draining America's power will kill her. Why don't you just ask her to like send you to the universe where your kid are alive and you can just like live there? And Wanda's reply is, what if they get sick? What if, like...
MOM would have been so much better if they had, one, played into the fact that the last time we saw her, she heard her kids were in danger. Okay, cool. She finds a reality where the kids are in danger, but she's no match for Cthulhu or Mephisto or whoever it is. So, she uses the Darkhold to make herself more powerful. And with that, it corrupts her. So now she has to choose between keeping her sanity and humanity, or saving her kids and being crazy. So that would have been such a much more compelling movie. So much so in what regard. Because now you actually have Wanda using her power, using the Darkhold for good, for an actual good reason, to save her kids, which are in legitimate danger. Not stealing her kids that are satisfied and happy from another reality. It made no sense. At least in this version, you would have had her using her powers and the Darkhold for an understandable reason.
Yeah. It's like this movie, the Cloverfield Paradox. This team of astronauts travels, like they activate this particle accelerator and it takes them into another universe. And, there's like some debate amongst the team of like, because they look at their lives in this parallel universe and like one of them, like the one woman, like, because in her world she lost her kids, her kids died, she's all alone. But in this world, like, oh, her kids are alive and well. And, like, she really wants to, like, stay here. But everyone's like, nah, we need to go back. We need to, like, get back to our own universe. But she really wants to stay in a world where her kids exist. But that raises this question, like, okay, sure, your kids exist. But there's also another version of you there. Like, what are you going to do, Sean? You're just going to kill them? Like, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
MLM could have been so much better. You could have been so much better had they actually thought it out. And it's even the fact that Raimi said that he never saw Wandavision. Well, that explains a lot. Definitely explains a lot. It explains so much.
Yeah, you're right. Would have worked better if... Personally, I think the movie would have worked if it was just a straight-up Doctor Strange sequel instead of a WandaVision continuation. Wrap up that plot line of Strange, of like Mordo training people. He's the main villain. Strange has got to stop him. That would have made...
Although, if that's the case, then it wouldn't have been called Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, it would have been...
It just would have been Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah. Don't do the Multiverse Madness thing. You've already done that. Loki broke the multiverse. Fucking No Way Home, dabbled in the multiverse a little bit. Fucking What If broke the multiverse. A bunch of shows.
If they truly wanted to, I guess, honor the character of Wanda that we saw in Wandavision. You would have had Wanda's own movie, The Scarlet Witch, Multiverse of Madness, whatever it is. And then you have it literally being a Wandavision sequel. White Vision, Kazan, Darkhold, with the Doctor Strange cameo. After all, it is the same universe. Same battle that Strange trying to stop Wanda and all of these people. You see the multiverse, you see Reed, you see all these characters, but it's a Wanda movie. So we see more Wanda and we see more multiverse.
Yeah.
You don't even need America, honestly, you don't. Because Wanda, alone herself as an extra being, with the Darkhold's power, should have enough power to, hop realities.
And let's be honest here, America Chavez in that movie is a human MacGuffin.
She is.
Jesus, dude. I learned that shit
We'll see her again.
Yeah, we will, but like, dude, I learned that word from the weirdest place, man. Like, just for years, I thought a MacGuffin was like some kind of McDonald's meal or something. I don't know. Like,
oh my God.
Like a McMuffin or something. I don't know. I heard like a MacGuffin. Like, what the fuck is a MacGuffin? And I was watching Teen Titans Go, and there was this episode where like Robin was like teaching the Titans how to do ninjas, and like the story was like sneak into this place to get the MacGuffin. The whole episode of being, what the fuck is a MacGuffin? Like, just what is? That's when I figured out. Oh, MacGuffin is a plot device. That makes sense. Shit, In other news, fuck Teen Titans Go, man. That show sucks. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, like it has its moments of being self-aware, in the episode where Robin literally does impressions of Jared Leto, Jack Nicholson, and Heath Ledger. And sometimes it's kind of over the top and zany and it's too much. It can be good and funny, and it can be obnoxious.
Dude, that show ran out of ideas years ago. You know how I knew? When I knew exactly the point this show ran out of ideas. When Michael Jelenic and the other guy wrote themselves into the fucking episode where the Titans literally go out and find them, and they're like, hey, why do you write us like this? Like, that's when I'm just like, y'all have run out of ideas, man. That's just, because that's where you go when you have nowhere else to go. You go meta. You just put yourself in the thing. Same thing with Matrix 4. They went meta, and it sucked. I do not need Neo fucking having conversations as the creator of a Matrix video game about our parent company Warner Brothers has told us they're gonna do a Matrix sequel with or without us. Like, just, I don't need to see that. What does that have to do with the movie? And you have like this round table meeting of like them discussing what's gonna be in the upcoming Matrix 4. And they're like, first off, what is the Matrix? It's like, the Matrix is like, it's this. And like one guy's like, I'll tell you what the Matrix is about. It's about bullet time. Like, just, dude, what are you,
Bad, just bad.
Jesus, dude. This is an author literally just cannibalizing their own work. Just, what are you doing? Like, we don't need this. We could have done without this.
Yeah. As long as they never do something like that ever again.
You mean give the Wachowskis $100 million and the wherewithal to do what the fuck ever? Yeah, that's never gonna happen again. Oh no, not the Wachowskis. Only one of them came back. The one Wachowski who returned a bunch of $1 million and free reign to do whatever.
I think it's pink hair. Not sure.
I think, yeah, she came back. It's the other one that was like, nah. Which was a smart call. Just...
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, she saw that sequels don't usually work out,
Yeah. It's like that,
And now's the time to be aware of that.
yeah. You ever see Anchorman? Like that Ron Burgundy movie with Will Ferrell and them.
Yeah, good one.
This is that ad that he was talking about. Like, it works like 60% of the time, 100% of the time. Which is
Jeez, yep, that's so true. So true.
That movie was good, dude. Hey, Will Ferrell's a funny motherfucker. Like, just not just him, but that whole cast, dude. That movie's so well cast. Shit.
Vince Vaughn, Paul Rudd, Will Ferrell, Will Smith was there too. Kanye West was there too. That's the second one, mind you. Liam Neeson was there. What about the French-speaking Quebec news? I remember that Jim Carrey was there, and I can't remember her name, but she was in Inception and Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, she was there too. So many fucking cool people were there, and Vince Vaughn was there too. Though honestly, that role, I'm like, that's the first. I think that's the only role in Vince Vaughn's entire filmography. I'm like, you know, I think Johnny Knoxville could have played that role. I think that's the entire movie. That's like, there's no other role in the history of roles where I've looked at this character and thought, Johnny Knoxville could have played that. Just I'm sorry. That was just my little side note there. Just wanted to, chime in a bit. Oh, I love Liam Neeson's line of like, we're the History Channel because history is also news, only much, much later. Like that was good. That was nice, man. It's nice to see Liam Neeson doing shit other than rescuing a daughter or avenging a wife or getting revenge on people who turned on him. It's cool to see Liam Neeson outside of that action space of a slew of Taken movies. It's kind of late to be cashing in on his status as the guy from Taken, dude. I mean, Taken 3 came out years ago. Come on.
Hey, man, like, just, it was,
This is the other side of the conversation. The one that I couldn't record because my recording device was running out of batteries, and I just had to use another device. So if it sounds loud, at the same time muffled, this is why.
It's crazy.
man, I miss Fox, They weren't up there with Warner Bros. And, Disney, but they weren't trying to be, though, man. They were just like that option C, They were there with Universal, and then they were that option C, If you didn't want MCU or DCEU, you could tune into Fox's X-Men, Now it's all MCU. Shit.
So Disney. Mm-hmm. Star Wars.
Yep. Star Wars. You remember that weird point? I think it was 2018, 2019. Yeah, it was 18, yeah. When like Sony and Disney and them, the negotiations fell through, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're taking Spider-Man." Like, there was this discussion that was like, "Oh, this is just gonna encourage Disney to buy Sony." Like, no, Disney's got money, but not that kind of money. Come on now.
I mean, they do. They can buy them. Just would it make sense? Plus, I think the courts would stop them because there's a certain point where a company is allowed to be such a monopoly.
Yeah.
Because even with the Fox deal, that one had a lot of like
legal red tape. Yeah.
Yeah, like the legal tape was like, okay, you're buying this company for $52 billion. Are you allowed to do this? Another movie studio. You already have Star Wars. You already have this. Now you want that. It's a sub.
Yeah.
Disney can now make sequels at Fox of Fox movies, not just like Marvel property, but any Fox property that ever existed. Disney can now make a sequel to that. They own the IP. It's so crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's so weird though, man. Like, just to see weirdly the Simpsons foreshadow this shit. In 2 two different ways, dude. Like there was an episode of The Simpsons and The Simpsons movie where they foreshadowed like Disney coming in, because there was this episode where it was like, I think it's in the future, and it showed at Fox Studios, and underneath the 20th Century Fox logo, it said a Walt Disney Company. I was just like, eesh. Like, when I saw it, I was like, ha ha, like funny, whatever. That doesn't mean anything. That was just a joke. No way they could have seen that. But then in the Simpsons movie, like Bart like had like this bra on his head that looked like the Mickey mascot, like the Mickey Mouse ears, and he was like, "I am the mascot of an evil corporation." Like just, oh, dude. With the benefit of hindsight, that's just like, I mean, you are now. You're one of them. So, shit. The Simpsons have certainly, I don't know, they're not what they used to be, man. Let me say that. They ain't what they used to be.
I mean, they're still fine in certain aspects, but the writers have shuffled so many times that the show is genuinely not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Quality and tone.
Yeah, man.
But it's unfortunate.
That it is. That it is.
What, personally, when I say, oh, future Shogun popping in here, I'm going to be doing that a lot in this episode, I think. I don't do that a lot in other episodes. Tried to do that in the Zack Snyder's Batman vs. Superman. No. It was Zack Snyder's Justice League. I was doing that episode. I filmed that episode with my little edits jumping in and out, and all that stuff. But that episode was lost, unfortunately. That is a lost episode, and I have not been able to recover it. But whatever. I just wanted to say, in terms of like tone and quality with regards to The Simpsons, I mean, of course that's happened. All the original writers are like, they've been, the writers have been swapped in, swapped out, whatever, changed. That original team is largely gone. And in terms of like the tone, I meant, I think it's like, the fact that Homer was a pretty self-destructive dude. Like, he had a lot of destructive aspects to his personality, but even in those days, he would be able to properly utilize those aspects of his personality to help his family and, like, be a good dude. He used his self-destructive nature for good. Now it's like Homer's a guy who has destructive aspects of himself, and that's that, I guess. Like, does it help his family? Sometimes. Does he mean to help his family when he does that? Sometimes. More often than not. Sometimes it makes things worse. But, like, it's mostly Marge stepping in to make the save from what I've seen. But, like, yeah. And there's a lot of episodes that just don't matter. In the past, episodes meant something, man. Like, they were trying to tell you something, or they were canon and they would be referenced in a later episode. But nowadays, there's a lot of episodes of The Simpsons that don't mean shit. You could skip a whole bunch of them. Like, you could watch the first episode of a season, and then you could watch the first 3 episodes and watch the last 3 episodes and not really miss anything. So, yeah. I still love The Simpsons. Don't get me wrong. They're a kick-ass show, Yeah. But, I miss Fox. I miss Fox's Simpsons. That's all I gotta say. Future Shogun chiming back out. 3, 2, 1.
But with all that's gone on, it's just yeah, I can feel my face is starting to hurt. So I might have to wrap this up. Final thoughts, man.
Your face starting to hurt.
My face is stuck. I'm laughing so much, dude. Like, my face is starting to hurt. Like, just, like when your muscles cramp up and shit. Like, just, yeah.
No, I get that. Final thoughts. Yeah, it's good that the definition of what it is to be a man has changed. Because it allows everyone to be a man in the way that they want to.
Future Shogun popping back in here. In terms of providing context, the be a man thing that seemingly just comes out of nowhere is in relation to a Carling Black Label ad that I saw where this dude was like chasing down this horse and he manages to like catch it and he puts it back in the stable and then the ad just ends with be a man. You know, I mean, I extrapolated that to mean like tame the beast within or some kind of shit, like which is contradictory because it's a beer commercial. Like, how the fuck is beer going to tame the beast within? If anything, it's gonna like let him out. Just, just thought I felt like that weird little gap in there, you know. Anyway, back to the show with 3, 2, 1.
Absolutely.
You don't really have to participate in this certain idea of being this and looking like that. As long as you're doing these things that are outlined, you're good.
Yeah. There's this quote, like I want to end off with this quote that's by Shakespeare, of all people. He said, a fool thinks himself to be wise. A wise man knows himself to be a fool. Like, just... That's from hundreds and hundreds of years ago, dude. Just...
He was a man well beyond his years.
Shit. Shows, man. We're still talking about him. He wouldn't be doing that if he wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. As always, man, it's fucking awesome talking with you. You know, like, just... And that is appropriate use of the word fuck, by the way. You notice we didn't drop it every couple sentences.
Just this David Boyer shit.
Dude. Damn. And people want to see, like, the director's cut of, like, Suicide Squad. I'm just like, nah. I'm good.
No F-bombs, definitely. You know.
Just, like, nah, I'm good, man. Just... The one we got was alright.
You know, they're kind of safe with gun. They're safe.
Yeah. They're
He's done a good job so far.
Yeah. I mean, he opened the
So
door
much
like...
so, I remember people were like campaigning that, gun should be he should be the killing fight. Then he himself thought he was like, fuck no. You know how much work that is?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. And it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't have the time for that. The time or patience.
Yeah. I guess Zack Snyder will do for now, you know. I don't know if he's still there, but hey, he's doing...
Yeah, he's pretty gone. He's at Netflix now.
Yeah, doing that, working on that King Arthur movie, which will be interesting.
Sci-fi shit.
Yeah, and that sci-fi show with Anthony Hopkins as a robot. Is...
Of all people.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I will say this much. It will be interesting to see.
Just red costume a little bit, but interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been so many fucking King Arthur movies and Robin Hood and like just but
which is weird because why is that property popular? You know?
I think it's mostly down to if you haven't seen a movie, like you know the premise of King Arthur and the sword, so just. But then again, I mean, everybody knows fucking what's this Jack and the Beanstalk, and we don't have like a litany of Jack and the Beanstalk movies.
Which is weird, because that story has potential. I mean, not a lot, but you can take some creative liberties.
Could you spin sequels out of a Jack and the Beanstalk movie?
Never.
Exactly.
Unless there's more Beanstalks.
It's a one-off, dude. Like, it's a one-off story. Yeah. Like, just, there's no...
It's like...
Yeah.
Okay, the story starts, story ends. It's like Hansel and Gretel. You can't go like farther.
Yeah, you can't, like, at the end reveal, the witch survived. Like, no.
You know, because if it survives, like, what's the next movie about?
Yeah.
It's very, like, a revenge story.
Yeah, you can't make a movie out of that. Like, you can have a scene, but not a movie. Yeah, just
very interesting.
It's a lot of things, like so many King Arthur and Robin Hood. Like, you remember Taron Egerton's Robin Hood movie? Like, and before that, it was Russell Crowe. Like,
and like it wasn't needed. Like no one asked for it. Like it just happened.
Mm-hmm. That movie gave off heavy Dark Knight vibes. Like, it tried to make Robin Hood Batman. It doesn't work. You know, because Batman goes out into the streets to fight crime. He's not going out, like, stealing from the rich, giving to the needy. He's just fighting crime. So, yeah. It doesn't work making Robin Hood more like Batman.
I think also it's the Green Arrow effect.
Yes. That people will see that and just think, now they're just copying Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, you know, Robin Hood has to be like an Oliver Queen character. He has to be pretty and he else, he's serious. No. Robin Hood should be like the Robin Hood we saw in Shrek. That's Robin Hood.
Really? That character was kind of a joke, man.
That's Robin Hood. Robin Hood is very jokey. He's very like, he's very pompous, you know. He has lots of pomp and he's,
I mean,
that's what I see him as.
You see him in that green outfit with the hat and the tights.
The taco hat. I mean, obviously, in the real world, they wouldn't really be tights. It would be like fabric fashion from, I don't know, some animal skin. Because again, it's the Middle Ages. But I see him being a very different character than Oliver Queen of all people.
I feel out of those Robin Hood movies, like the studio was really angling for a universe out of that Taron Egerton one. Because I shit you not, dude, there were plans for Robin Hood in 2099. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
That's not gonna work. Like, for one main reason, in the future, they have guns. Just, sorry, dude, you're a guy with a bow. It's not gonna work. Sorry, dude, just... It's not even like with Green Arrow, who has, like, trick arrows and whatnot. He's just a guy.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I think what are Oliver's distinguishing characteristics? Like, we know what Hawkeye, he's an excellent marksman, right? He trained for many years. He's a brilliant hand-to-hand combatant. So, I mean, Oliver, okay, I guess he trained with the League of Shadows, but only in the show. But who trained him in the comics? Because he was on an island, and it's like, okay, but then how is he such a good marksman if he's just a regular businessman? Because he didn't grow up to be a marksman. He trained on an island. Like, it's so, I don't understand how a person can become that skilled after living their whole life as not this thing. And then after, 2 years, they're suddenly this excellent individual. Doesn't make sense. Because if that's the case, then anyone can train equally as long and be just as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, it's up in the air. Like Hawkeye, yeah, we know Hawkeye. He was in the circus, you know. He's kind of like a Dick Grayson in terms of like who grew up. Like, he's very acrobatic. He's skilled. Hawkeye has skill that he has had since he was a child. Because Oliver is a fucking billionaire who gets stranded on an island. And he comes back a superhero. Like, okay. Jeez.
Yeah. And depending on which version you saw, like Robin Hood of Locksley is just like, you know, a common man who decided to become a vigilante, or he's like a rich guy who
join the crusade or just like, I don't know.
Does make sense.
Yeah. Before I go, I must ask you. I was rattling around like this idea back in my head. I was like, okay, since studios are trying to do like Robin Hood movies and King Arthur movies, I'm like, who do you think would win if we ever got like a Robin Hood versus King Arthur movie? Like, who would win in a fight between Robin Hood and King Arthur?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think Robin Hood. Because I think King Arthur, as much as he was a brave, valiant, warrior turned monarch, but a lot of his life was spent sitting down at some point. He became fat, lazy. But with a person like, Robin Hood, he's always mobile. He always has to keep doing certain things. He for starters, he has to maintain, his acrobatic nature, his flexible nature. So he's constantly just like doing things. So he never really he never loses his shape. But King Arthur for a long time lost his shape. Like he was very much out of shape at a certain point during his reign.
Yeah.
So I think, Robin Hood solos. Weird word for these people.
Like when I asked him, he was just like, dude, King Arthur. I'm like, why? And he's like, one word, Excalibur. Just, dude.
Yeah, but if I'm fat out of shape man, would they be as efficient as a big man? I don't know.
Dude, like King Arthur isn't magic. The sword is magic. Like,
exactly.
Dude, that doesn't automatically make him good. He's not a fighter. It's the sword at the end of the day.